For the awkwardness, everybody.
And I thought it was weird that they get out of Gildy's office and he's scot-free. He didn't get in trouble for anything yet. And they go a floor up, which kind of seemed random. And they go into a random classroom and they lock themselves in. They don't actually lock the door, but they close the door behind them.
Yeah.
And he immediately asks Ron, hey, should I have told them about the voice thing? Ron's like, nah, I wouldn't worry about it. But I personally feel like if you can hear voices, it's a sure sign that shit's pretty fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And you had damn well better tell somebody as fast as you can, because you have some serious problems that need to get helped.
Yeah.
I feel like he told Harry, wizard or not, hearing the voices, no bueno. Not cool.
I want to say that Ron in this chapter, I think, talks more than anybody else. He says a lot of, really intelligent shit. He tells Harry, keep it to yourself. Even though, yeah, he should probably not have kept it to himself. He probably should tell somebody. That might be a neurological problem. It might not even be wizarding shit. That might be, real life problems.
Right. Right.
That's muggle shit right there.
Right. But then, Harry asks if Ron believes him, and he's like, yeah, but it's a little fucking weird, bud.
I'm here for you, pal, but, I mean, it's weird. Which, if Ron thinks it's weird, then why would Ron also tell him to not do anything about it?
Because he doesn't want to lose his friend. What if they have to take you away to the loony bin?
I mean, what if he goes crazy because he's hearing voices?
Ron's ride or die. He's like, I'll ride that shit out with you.
Yeah. Or what if he's already crazy because he's hearing voices?
Well, they're also 12, so their decision-making is a little...
That's true.
Also,
unbecoming.
Anything anywhere near the age of a teenager is probably crazy anyways.
Yeah.
At least temporarily.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then Harry's like, well, this whole fucking thing is weird. The voice, the wall, Mrs. Norris, what the hell's a squib?
And Ron explains that it's a person born in a magical family that isn't actually magical themselves. And he kind of goes on to figure, well, maybe that's why Filch is so pissed off at the students all the time. He's bitter because he's a squib and he doesn't have magic and we all do.
Right.
It's pretty sad. It got to my heart a little bit because when you're a muggle-born, you are the coolest person in your family. So if you're a squib, you're the most uncool person in your family. That's gotta suck.
Right.
To have siblings that can do all this shit and be like, haha, you can't. His life probably sucked.
Yeah, you're the opposite of a muggle-born.
You know what just occurred to me? Filch and Harry probably have a lot in common in their childhoods.
Yeah.
Maybe not, because,
Well, no.
Filch was in a magical family, but he was probably, the least liked child.
Yeah, I was just thinking that he might not have. The reason he's working at a magical school, so obviously he wasn't surrounded by a whole lot of muggle things because he would have just gone to work at the local deli or something. It would have been a lot easier on his psyche than surrounding himself by people who could do stuff quick, by 12-year-olds who could do shit cooler than him.
I wonder if there's people who decided that they're going to leave the magical community because they don't have magic. Do you think that's a thing?
Ooh.
I bet you they have a special name for those kind of people. I think defect is what you're looking for, though.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on having a beer break.
Oh, I'm all for that.
I'm good with it.
Awesome.
All right, so this week we're drinking Pigeon Hill's Salted Caramel.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
That is one. Kind of surprising for a beer that only has a alcohol content of not on the can, which is convenient. No idea.
Nothing to do with the bourbon you had earlier.
No, absolutely not. The local bar serves this up pretty constantly throughout the year. Even though it's a craft beer, they always seem to have it. And I always like to have a big pour of this. I don't know. It's just fucking good. I get it all the time. If you guys find it near you, you should definitely try it. What do you think about it, JD?
I like it. It seems like a sibling to their OCP. The OCP is a little bit more cinnamony.
Yeah, I like this more than the OCP because I don't care for cinnamon in beer. I don't know why, I just don't. But what do you think, Shantell?
Well, I was going to call you like a Scrooge or Grinch or something because 'tis the season and you should be putting cinnamon in everything.
'Tis not the season yet.
'Tis almost there. But no, I have to agree with Jade. I think it's in the family.
Yeah.
And it has this taste at the end that's like sweet. You all of a sudden get this sweetness at the end, and it's really good.
Yeah.
I really like it.
It's super, super enjoyable. So, like Nate said, get your hands on some if you can, and we are going to be back right after this.
And we're back.
The bell tolled midnight, and they decided to go to bed before Snape could frame them for anything else.
Solid plan.
Right?
He didn't really frame them for this, though. Not really. He accused them, but to frame would imply that Snape is in on what happened, and so far he's not. He's saying, hey, you did it. Or I think you did it.
Or why were you where you were? And he was questioning shit.
Yeah, the absolute worst possible way to say it, but the best way to say it is he's being fingered. As the person who did it.
OMG.
Well, over the next couple days, Filch is just an asshole, more so than normal. And he wants to punish kids for, like, being happy.
Or breathing too loud.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with him on this, rightfully so. He has lost his cat at the moment. He's in a bad place, guys.
Yeah, for the first time in this whole series, I'm totally behind Filch right now. Like, yeah, be a dick. Your cat just got murdered. I'd be an asshole.
And nobody's in trouble for it.
No, everybody's in trouble for it.
Yeah. But it's not murdered. Dumbledore is gonna rescue the cat. He's got a plan.
But I feel like Filch is kind of blind right now, too, because Mrs. Norris, like, scopes shit out for him all the time, and somehow they have that weird connection that, like, she meows and he comes running from across the castle, like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah, his partner in crime is gone. Sad days for Filchy.
So it's probably why he's so freaked that's probably why he's standing there just, like, trying to give people attention and freaking out on them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, so Ginny's thoroughly freaked out, and Hermione's been reading, I mean, not that this is anything new, but Hermione's been reading and in the library pretty consistently ever since 2.
Yeah, it kind of throws everyone off, and everybody's acting a little bit weird, because it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's only a little bit creepy.
Yeah. Somebody's pet got murdered, and a straight-up death threat was written on the wall of your school.
And it won't come off. It's like fucking...
Magic?
Yeah, like The Shining.
So we're coming up to a part that kind of took me back to school days. Ron's writing a paper, but the paper is not so much how many words, but an actual measurement. And it was like, 3 feet long? The paper has to be 3 feet long. Like parchment, obviously, they're using parchment. That shit is weird. Not just weird. That would, like, freak me the fuck out to have to write a paper, but it has to be a specific length. Like, not a 2-page paper. No, we're gonna go with 3 feet on this one, guys. It's a 3-footer. Just no.
I did appreciate that he mentioned the size of their handwriting, which implies that if you write a little bit larger, you have a little bit of an advantage.
Oh, then I would have been solid. My handwriting's, like, crazy big and shitty.
Yeah, just
not tiny Unabombery.
do lots of loops.
Loops. Cursive, this bitch.
I mean, okay, so this is a completely immature note, but I wanted to make it. Ron asked to see Hermione's paper because he needs to reach 3 feet. And he's like, I only need a couple more inches. And I was like, yeah, I'll bet.
Oh.
Sorry, Ronnie boy.
I didn't even go there, and my mind always goes there.
I'm listening to the audible, so he's like, please, all I need is a couple of inches. And I go, ha!
I did too.
Right.
James, you would have been right there on that one, buddy.
He would have, too.
So we find out that Hermione is looking to get her hands on a copy of Hogwarts History. And it's like the first time in the history of ever that she doesn't have a book that she needs. And it's funny because she says she left it at home, and I don't know why she wouldn't have just sent for like an express owl to her parents and been like, send me my fucking book.
Yeah, I don't see Hermione as being a girl that would let something like this go.
Right.
Especially if it's a book. I feel like she'd probably leave deodorant or something else other than her books. She would take all of her books for sure. Be like, I don't need shoes, whatever.
I found it funny that she said she didn't pack it because she couldn't fit it in with all of Lockhart's books. So somehow his books had taken priority over that book.
Yes, she is obviously in the throes of some teenage love here. Why else would she not bring her trusty Hogwarts History?
I feel like in the books, he must be more heartthrobby, maybe, because you don't get that in the movies. I'm just saying.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah.
No offense to the guy. I'm just saying it doesn't match. Just doesn't match.
Yeah, he's not my cup of tea. 12-year-old me definitely would not have been like, ooh, handsome Gilderoy.
He's no JTT.
No, he's not.
For those of you listeners who don't know, that's Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
From the library, they go to history class where their teacher is Mr. Binns.
Ooh.
Mr. Binns is a ghost.
Or maybe Professor Binns.
Professor Binns. Yeah, I guess that would be better. He wakes up one morning to go teach class like normal, but he was just a ghost. He left his body where it was. And it says nothing else has changed for him since then. He's just been doing his same old shit.
Right. Like, people don't even think he knows he's dead. That's how boring his life is.
That'd probably be pretty traumatic. Like, oh, by the way, hey, you're dead.
Since Hermione can't get her hands on Hogwarts History, because she doesn't want to bother Harry, she decides to ask the teacher about the Chamber of Secrets.
I thought it was funny how it said that it had never happened before in that class. Nobody fucking puts their hand up while this guy's teaching because he just drones on and on and on and on, and he's not answering questions. He's giving a lecture. And so that she even put her hand up because she was paying slight attention. She wasn't. She had something else to ask, but normally he gets like 0 student participation in his class.
Yeah.
I feel like this would have been one of those boring college classes that I never attended. Didn't go.
Probably. So she asks him, hey, what about the Chamber of Secrets? And this lesson he's giving has nothing to do with this. So this is out of the blue for him. He looks at all of the people in the class. Their attention starts to perk up. He can see eyeballs now instead of the tops of their heads. Then he realizes that they're paying attention. That rarely happens in this class, so he's going to go for it and tell them the story. And he explains that Hogwarts was founded by 4 of the greatest wizards and witches ever. Godric Gryffindor, Rowena Ravenclaw, Helga Hufflepuff, and Salazar Slytherin. That's almost hard to say. Now, Salazar wanted the school to be for purebloods only, but the other 3 disagreed, so he just left. It doesn't seem like a very Slytherin trait to me.
He was like, bye.
Yeah, he's like, I give up then. That's not a Slytherin thing.
Yeah, we don't really know what he does after that.
Well, we have an idea of what he may have done before that.
We do.
Legend has it that Salazar created, well, a Chamber of Secrets, unbeknownst to the other founders of the school, and that when he left the school, he sealed it, so that only his true heir would be able to open it. And once they do, they can use the horror within to purge the school of all who are not worthy to study magic. Professor Binns says that the school has been searched many, many times, and there's no evidence that the chamber ever existed, but I would like to make a point.
What's
I
that?
feel like it's valid.
What's that?
According to the name of the book, Yes, there is. I thought it was funny that they were arguing this in the